You can't deny this summer is truly a summer of sport. And with the European Football Championship having kicked us off in earnest, all the excitement got me thinking about the last time I was around such a major international sporting event, which was when I was lucky enough to be in Moscow during the early stages of the 2018 World Cup. Back then I first learned about the existence of one of Moscow's big five football clubs, Lokomotiv Moscow, so named because it was associated early on with the Russian state railways, and for a long time many of its players were railway workers. Today they're still sponsored by RŽD, the Russian railways, and their home stadium even has a full-blown old Soviet steam locomotive outside, so you could say trains are a big thing to the team. And the club's emblem is no exception. Standing above that classic vintage symbol for the railways, the winged train wheel, the badge's most famous feature is the green locomotive emerging from the Cyrillic letter L. And at the time, I thought, cool, a football crest with a train on it. That's neat. But it's not the only one in the world, by a long shot. So, let's collect football clubs with trains in their logos. Yeah, that's literally all this video is. So, subscribe for more stuff like this, I guess. The Lokomotiv name for a football club actually became extremely common in countries of the former communist bloc of Eastern Europe, as teams were set up by transportation authorities in the same vein as in Moscow. Thus, that delicious railway symbolism is rife, as in the club badges of Lokomotiv 1929 Sofia in Bulgaria, Lokomotiva Zagreb in Croatia, Lokomotiv Kiev in Ukraine, Lokomotiv Tbilisi in Georgia, Lokomotiv Tashkent in Uzbekistan, and Lokomotiva Košice in Slovakia. By far my favourite of these comes from the city of Cluj-Napoca in Romania, and the club CFR Cluj, which, similar to the others, was founded as a railway sports club. CFR is the initials of the Romanian State Railway Company. I just love how this badge doesn't shy away from being a big train, even a little bit. Some other locomotive clubs in this general region, however, have chosen to eschew having trains on their crests, as in the cases of Lokomotiv Plovdiv in Bulgaria, who just went for the letter L and literally nothing else, and Lokomotiv Yerevan in Armenia, and I don't know what they were going for. You could have had trains, guys. Over in Turkey, a similar situation existed, with many so-called Demirspor teams set up by the Turkish state railways. But as you can see in the badges of both Ankara Demirspor and Adana Demirspor, they tended to stick closely to the colours and iconography of the parent railway company. In India's top-flight league we find Mumbai City FC, who chose to include a train carriage on their badge, not because of any particular connection to railway workers or companies, but I believe to represent the importance of the Mumbai rail network to the city's growth and prosperity. In Pakistan, meanwhile, we find Lahore-based and imaginatively named Pakistan Railways FC, created by railway workers who play wearing the colours and unaltered logo of the Pakistan Railways Company, which does have a train in it, so it counts. Jumping over to Brazil for an honourable mention, playing in the regional cup of the state of Espírito Santo is the club Desportiva Ferroviária Vale do Rio Doce, formed from various local railway Ferroviária employees in the 60s, who get some brownie points from me for featuring a rail on their crest. Much closer to home, another mention has to go to what is definitely the oldest locomotive featured on a football crest, that of non-league club Darlington Railway Athletic, which contains Stephenson's Locomotion No. 1, the first engine in the world to haul passengers on a public railway 200 years ago. And finally, I can't finish without mentioning this, the emblem of Newton Heath FC, founded in 1878 by the workers of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway in order to play against teams made up of other railwaymen. But by 1892, the club abandoned its official association with the railway, and then by 1902 it lost the train from its crest and changed its name entirely to Manchester United. I knew there was a reason I never liked them. Bring back the train, though, and I might reconsider. Turns out there aren't anywhere near enough trains in British football. Wow, I really managed to talk about trains and football for over 5 minutes. If you stuck through it all, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.